I've done everything in boxing, but I ain't come back from a loss. And I relish it, the chance to come back and redeem myself. Give up, December the 21st.
Tyson Fury is back in the gym as he begins his preparation for the rematch with Oleksandr Usyk, set to take place at the end of the year. The Gypsy King was recently in a bad state after his defeat to Oleksandr Usyk last month.
Say this man in a really bad way in life. I might want to see him get outboxed and lose his belt, but I don't want to see him on a mental decline and really struggling emotionally or anything like that.
Tyson Fury raised eyebrows after he was spotted drunk outside a pub in the UK. Many even felt this was the end of the boxing star.
Money on it, I would say he probably went out with all the best of intentions of just having a good night out. But that pain and that emotional shit that he's carrying around with how he's feeling about himself at the moment, it's there. It's a loud voice in the
A strong comeback, and he even released a statement about his preparations for the rematch. So what did the Gypsy King say? Who wins the rematch? Stick around and watch as we find out in this video. A few weeks ago, Tyson Fury raised Tyson Fury interview eyebrows when videos of him getting drunk at a pub went viral on social media. Many believe that the Gypsy King was going through a hard time, especially since his defeat to Oleksandr Usyk last month. Fury was unbeaten before this defeat, and many thought this loss affected him severely. To refresh your memory, footage showed the British boxer scrambling on his knees before bumping his head on a lamppost outside. It was reported that the Gypsy King partied with friends and family until late in the night, but failed to return home. A source close to Fury said the fighter had not had a drink for more than a year, adding that he had a couple too many and wasn't feeling too well. Fans were, however, quick to pass judgment, with many suggesting that Usyk had ended his career recently. However, the Gypsy King did an interview where he reassured fans that he was alright and even shed some light on what he's been up to since his defeat to Usyk.
About 2 weeks ago, fell over on my face, didn't do any damage though, still good looking. As you do, you know what I mean, when you're on a night out, son! But yeah, apart from that.
In the interview, Fury discussed his activities and mindset following his loss to Oleksandr Usyk. Fury mentioned that he has been chilling out and training 5 times a week. He took a brief vacation with his children, traveling in a caravan for 6 days, and he emphasized that he has been keeping his life simple regarding his recent drunkenness. Fury candidly shared that he got pissed up about 2 weeks ago, resulting in him falling on his face. Despite the fall, he reassured me that he didn't sustain any damage and humorously noted that he was still good looking. Fury acknowledged receiving numerous concerned messages and phone calls, linking these to his history and people's worries about his well-being. He reassured everyone that apart from this incident, he has mostly spent time with his family and training. Fury detailed his intense thoughts on the Usyk fight training regime, mentioning consecutive training camps since last September. He noted how he trained right through Christmas and the New Year leading up to his recent fight in May. Although he considered this period off, he clarified that his time off still involves training 5 times a week, reflecting on his fight with Usyk. Fury mentioned watching the fight multiple times and maintained his belief that he won, stating that Usyk knows he didn't beat him. Fury mentioned that opinions varied, and although one judge had him winning by a round, he ultimately lost by a split decision. Despite the loss, Fury expressed no regrets, believing everything happens for a reason, and shared that it hasn't affected him. He humorously noted that regardless of the outcome, his routine of dropping kids off and occasional drunken nights would remain unchanged. Fury elaborated on his perspective on the fight, claiming he dominated most rounds except for rounds 8 to 9 and 10, where he acknowledged Usyk's strong performance and admitted he should have aimed for a knockout as winning by decision seemed unlikely despite the challenges. Fury remained confident and looked forward to the rematch, indicating it would take place in Saudi Arabia in December.
I thought I boxed the head right off him for most of the rounds. Obviously, he had landed a good punch in round 8 and busted my nose. Round 9, he had a 10-8 round. So
Fury isn't sour about the loss to Usyk, but still feels that he should have won that fight. Fans also reacted to this. To a particular statement by the Gypsy King, and many don't seem to agree. One user wrote 1161, "Yee, wasn't close." Another said it was a close competitive fight. In my opinion, Usyk won the early rounds. Fury won the middle rounds. And Usyk took the later rounds and got a 10-8 in round 9, which ultimately secured him the win over Fury. I saw it as a Usyk UD, but that doesn't mean Fury can't win the inevitable rematch. A third user also took a jab at Anthony Joshua, stating, "I love the Fury story, but I hate how these full-fledged heavyweights won't give Usyk his credit. Joshua threw a fit twice, and now Tyson is downplaying his success. Usyk is a cruiserweight that just dominated two of the best heavyweights of his generation, and all they do is act like kids." One fan agreed with the Gypsy King, stating Fury won 8 rounds for sure. If you watch it back closely with no commentary, Usyk knows he lost as well. You can see it in his body language. After the fight, he had one good round. In the 9th, Tyson Fury outboxed the boxer for 90% of that fight. Regardless of who won the first fight, these two have a rematch in hand where anyone can win, and this time Tyson Fury has already begun training to avenge his defeat and grab the undisputed title. It was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be in the UT fight. I probably had too much fun speaking of whether Fury won the fight versus Usyk. Eddie Hearn shared his reaction in a recent interview. "I was there. I had it very close. I'd do it winning by a point, maybe 2 points, but you know, when it's that close, it can go either way." The reality is that I don't think anyone can argue this thought. Eddie Hearn believed the fight between Fury and Usyk was too close. He addressed Tyson Fury's claim that he won his fight against Oleksandr Usyk and acknowledged that it's typical for fighters who lose close decisions to believe and assert that they actually won the fight. He mentioned being present at the fight and described it as very close, stating that he personally had Usyk win by a point or 2, but recognized that scoring is subjective and such close fights can go either way. Hearn explained that while most people thought Usyk won, there were some, including Fury himself, who believed Fury was the winner. He noted that the fight featured pivotal moments, such as a significant round that swung the momentum in Usyk's favor, a point that Fury himself acknowledged despite differing opinions on the fight's outcome. Hearn expressed that it was indeed very close and could have been scored differently by others. Hearn also commented on the prospect of a rematch, expressing confidence that it would take place as planned on December 21st. He dismissed skepticism about the rematch happening, emphasizing Fury's competitive nature and his desire to win. Hearn highlighted that Fury is motivated by both the potential financial gain and the opportunity to possibly become the pound-for-pound #1 boxer if he wins the rematch. He underscored that unforeseen circumstances like injuries could affect the fight, but he saw no reason to doubt Fury's commitment to the rematch. A lot of people had it all square after 6, but scoring was subjective, so it was a very close fight either way. I think that Tyson can win the rematch. Does it take place on December 21st? Do you believe yes? Oladipo also shared his thoughts on Tyson Fury's claim that he won his fight against Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr acknowledged that there are some aspects of Fury's comments that he can understand, but he also labeled certain statements as delusional. Parts of it exist. I kind of agree with there's parts of it that Tyson Fury finds a bit delusional. I mean, the idea that if you're not going to get a decision from Usyk, what is Usyk like? Just this big drawer who always gets decisions. Usyk's not Canelo or Floyd Mayweather. If you beat him, you beat him. If you don't, you don't. Oleksandr dismissed the idea that Fury wouldn't get a decision in a rematch against Usyk, arguing that Usyk is not a massive draw who always gets favorable decisions like Canelo Alvarez or Floyd Mayweather. He suggested that if Fury beats him convincingly, he would get the decision regarding Fury's assertion that parts of the fight were easy. Oleksandr admitted that there were moments when Fury made it look relatively simple, particularly around the 6th or 7th round. However, he cautioned against taking this too seriously, pointing out that the fight turned and Fury ultimately did not dominate, as he might have initially appeared to. Oleksandr emphasized that the most important takeaway from Fury's interview is that he is in good spirits despite concerns following his recent alcohol binge incident. He noted that Fury's confidence and even a degree of delusion might be necessary for him to mentally prepare for the rematch and potentially win against Usyk. Oleksandr acknowledged that Fury's statements should be taken with a pinch of salt, recognizing that Fury is known for his colorful and sometimes exaggerated remarks. I mean, the biggest thing I took away from that interview was that he's in good spirits. Everyone's concerned when he's kind of face planted after that little alcohol binge. He's in good spirits, he's ready to go, and he needs to be taken care of. Oleksandr concluded by preparing the audience for more bold statements from Fury as the rematch approaches, suggesting that Fury will continue to hype the fight and talk nonsense in the lead up to December. But what are your thoughts on Tyson Fury's comments? Did you also have him win the first fight? Will he win the rematch against Oleksandr Usyk? Let us know in the comments. That's it for today. Don't forget to also subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications so that you never miss out on videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.